Hi there guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Palace Daily. It's been quite a long time since my last one. I think it was back before we signed Max Meyer that I did my last one. It's technically Palace Daily number 25 that I'll be doing today. Try and get these back rolling because I did enjoy doing them during the summer window. Today there's been a lot of topics coming out recently that I'm sure you're all aware of. If you're not Palace fans, then let me explain to you what I'll be talking about. First of all, I'm going to touch on the Huddersfield game, my thoughts. Obviously, it's a little late for that sort of review, but I want to just give my thoughts overall and how I think we're doing at the moment as a team. But the main thing I want to talk about is the whole Zaha situation. I'm sure everyone would have seen his interview he had with the BBC after the match, where he talked about being how frustrated he was that he's not getting certain decisions, that I think the quote exactly was, it's going to take me breaking my leg before players are going to get red cards for the challenges they're doing on me. I'll delve into all of that sort of stuff in a little bit, but first I wanted to touch on the Huddersfield game. 1-0 win. In my opinion, we didn't play very well. I think Huddersfield deserved at least the point from it. And to be honest, I would have taken a point going into it. I think it's a tough place to go. And although I said in my preview we needed a win, I think it's a place where you just can't lose. It's the sort of team around you, then mid-table, lower, those sort of teams you've got to be getting points from. So to get maximum points was fantastic. Doing a proper Burnley job on them, gritty 1-0 that we don't really deserve, like how Leicester kind of won the league. I'm not putting anything down on Leicester, but there were a lot of 1-0 wins Leicester got when they won the league. Similar thing like that, grinding out a 1-0 when we didn't quite deserve it. For me, Wan-Bissaka was man of the match. He had a fantastic game again. Him or Zaha could have won it, but I'm giving it to Wan-Bissaka still because of his age and just how impressive he's been. He just hasn't put a foot wrong. I think it was 5 tackles attempted in the game and all 5 tackles were made. I think 1 clearance, 2 blocks as well were the stats, I believe. So he's just fantastic. I can't praise the guy enough anymore. It's just ridiculous how good he is, and he will play for England one day. I can guarantee that. Zaha, obviously, what a goal! He's the difference. He's the difference. He can play for a top 4 team, hands down. The only problem is which team does he fit into at the moment. Out of the top 4 teams, you can only really say, possibly Chelsea. If Hazard were to leave at some point in the future, he could go in there. Maybe Man United, but he's never going to go back to Manchester United after what happened last time. And then if you're looking in the terms of top 6, Spurs, it would probably be a perfect fit, Spurs or Arsenal. And I could see him playing at that level when he leaves Palace. But let me know your thoughts, guys, how you thought the game went. I thought that we do need to step up our performances, but I'm not complaining. We got the win. And in our situation, the level of our football at the moment, the size of the club, etc., etc., it's not the end of the world if we don't play well and get a win. I don't think you can complain too much about that. The problem is when if we play like that again and we end up losing or dropping points when against teams of Huddersfield's stature, if you like. No disrespect to Huddersfield. But yeah, got the win, happy. Just move on from that now. So obviously I mentioned Zaha, so let me get into the whole thing there. I got in a bit of a Twitter, I wouldn't say spat, but I got in a bit of a Twitter debate, let's say, with Adrian Durham from TalkSport. If you don't know what happened, I'm going to obviously my Twitter is down below in the description, so go and follow me on Twitter and check out the whole to and fro I had with Adrian Durham. I basically last night he as I'm recording this, I believe it was Sunday night, I apologise, Sunday night he recorded on TalkSport responding to that Wilfried Zaha interview that he had after the Huddersfield game, and was saying about how he thinks he should kind of like grow up a bit. He should just get on with it. It's the Premier League is a very physical league. It always has been, and the fact that he's just signed a new 5-year deal with Palace shows that he's committed to playing in the Prem. So should understand what comes with playing in the Premier League. At the time, I just let that slide by. I thought I can't be asked to, argue any of those points. I think it was kind of pathetic, the point he was trying to make, but I thought I'll just let it slide. I'm not going to bother with it. And then later on in my timeline, there was someone, I can't remember the Twitter handle, I apologise to whoever it was, but someone retweeted a tweet from the TalkSport Drive put up during the World Cup when they were commentating, and it was a game Brazil were playing. I can't remember the specific game, but Adrian Durham was commentating on it, and Neymar in that game was down on the floor. Obviously, a lot of controversy around Neymar and the falling over at the drop of a hat during the World Cup. A lot of people unhappy with how he rolled around and was trying to buy free kicks, etc., etc. But Adrian Durham in that clip that was posted during the World Cup was talking about in the commentary that he deserves more protection. He was getting attacked by certain players, and he deserves more protection. So, and it was when I read that and it came up on my timeline, I thought I've got to retweet this. So I retweeted it and was just saying why should Neymar get treated any differently to any player? You know, the rules are the rules. End of. Doesn't matter who you are, what level you're at, whether you're in Conference South or in the Champions League, playing at the highest level. All players should be treated the same. Doesn't matter of your stature. So that's why I brought it up, saying why does this mean Neymar should be treated any differently to how you're saying Zaha should deal with it or be treated. And then it went to and fro, and you can obviously check out my Twitter to see the whole thing there. But I think a lot of people kind of back me up, so I appreciate those who did comment on my tweets and on the tweets that were put up and were supporting me in my argument. But yeah, in overall, what I'm taking from it is that Zaha gets hacked down. He gets every game he has at least one challenge on him that is pretty horrific. And horrific's a bit of a strong word. A very strong challenge. And every now and then, every 2 or 3 games, probably he gets a challenge that potentially, if his foot was rooted to the ground, if he doesn't jump over it, or if something went wrong, it would have ended with a potential leg break or a long-term injury. That's where Palace fans get frustrated, and in terms of supporting Zaha, and where Zaha gets frustrated as well, is those sort of challenges that come flying in consistently, and the refs do not give him the correct protection that he needs or that he should be getting. People need to understand who are saying that Zaha should get on with it and stop moaning, that he's not saying that he should get protected more than any other player. That's not his argument. His argument is that he should be getting, or players that are doing these sort of challenges on him should be getting the rules enforced upon them. The rules that should be put on them. For example, Etienne Capoue, that is a red card challenge. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes into the game or if it's early. It is a red card challenge, So he's just... Zaha's point, and I totally agree with it, is that the refs need to give him the protection in terms of enforcing the rules of the game, not letting it slide by. And for whatever reason, whether it's because he's perceived as a diver, and I'm yet to see any proof of him diving, I'm still yet to see a clip any fan has put up on social media of Zaha outright diving. So I don't know if it's that the refs have this preconceived image that, oh yeah, Zaha's dived in the past, and therefore he must be diving now, rolling around on the floor, etc. Even though he doesn't really roll around the floor, and if he does, it is genuinely because he's hurt. A lot of comparisons have been made with Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard gets fouled a lot, almost every game, Chelsea fans have said, and I agree. He's probably... Zaha and Hazard, for the last 3 seasons, have been the 2 most fouled players in the Premier League. Zaha above Hazard. Just goes to show that the tricky, skillful players in the league normally get hacked down a lot, mainly because defenders can't stop him, or that's the way they do it. They try and get physical with them to negate their effect in a game. And I think Hazard gets less or gets more decisions than Zaha, or more backing, because he plays for Chelsea, he plays for a big club. And I don't care what you say, if you're a referee at Stamford Bridge and Hazard gets fouled or hacked down and it's a bad challenge, and the whole ground, the whole of Stamford Bridge is shouting at him, saying off, or shouting at him, trying to get the player who's done the foul to be booked, 9 times out of 10, the referee's going to go and give the card. If at Sellers Park that would happen to Zaha and the crowd was shouting, and I have seen this in the past, I've been involved in it, 9 times out of, or not 9 times out of 10, that's unfair. I'd say 4 or 5 times out of 10, the ref would give the decision, about 50% of the time. I think that Zaha, if a smaller team, if there's a decision that a referee has to make a decision at a smaller team's ground, they're less influenced by the fans, they're less influenced by the team and that they're reffing. I generally think that's the case, and that's not me being biased. I'd say the same. That's just me as an observation, okay? You may agree or disagree. As always, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Zaha situation. Let me know yours, because it has been a massive topic over this week, over this weekend, and it will be for the week to come, I think, until the game football starts coming back again in the Premier League for next weekend. So let me know your thoughts, comment down below. I'm really happy to be doing these Palace dailies again. I'm going to try and get some more out for you, a bit more content onto the channel other than vlogs and previews, etc, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Let me know your thoughts on Zaha, on Palace, how they're playing at the moment. What do we need to do? What do we need to change? If you're happy with how we're playing, or if you're not happy, what do you think needs to change? And does Zaha dive? If you do think he dives, please show me evidence on Twitter or something to show me he dives. And if he's wrong, let me know. If you're an opposition fan, or and if you know, all your thoughts on Zaha. Do you think that the comments he's made are fair? And if not, please tell me why. I'll absolutely respect your opinion, because I understand why this could separate, you know, certain opinions. Absolutely. As a love of Zaha, as a person who loves Zaha and loves Palace, I'm obviously going to back him, and I understand where he's coming from totally. But opposition fans may have a different output on it. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, comment below. Love to hear your comments. Hit that subscribe button as well. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Not too far off now. So hopefully I can hit that mark in the next month or so. Thank you guys so much. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.